Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. James here as ever for today's video all about how to pass your upcoming business and technology examination, going through a free resource available to you on ACCA's website that I'd be utilising if I was in your position. And as you can see on the screen in there in the middle. If this is the first time you've visited my channel before, my name is James. I'm an ACCA qualified member from the UK, and on my channel I help out ACCA students and accounting professionals around the world pass your examinations and sharing my experience and insights. So if that's of interest to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you get access to all my free videos, and be sure to give this one a massive like so more accounting students can see the resources, because as ever I actually give shout outs and actually dedicate the videos to my lovely subscribers, and today is no different because, as you can see on the screen now, RKRK kindly left me a comment, and you're more than welcome to as well watching this at the bottom, asking for more F1 videos, which is the old name for the business technology exam, along with accounting and business in case you've got any old text. So RKRK, today's video is dedicated to you, my friend. I'm going to walk and talk you through the actual syllabus and study guide. Again, as I said, completely free. Now, as you can see on here, it says from September 21 to August 2022. The syllabus really doesn't get updated that much, and in fact this one didn't get updated at all. So if you're watching this after August 2022, do not worry, and I'm going to show you right now where you can actually find all of the up-to-date areas as well. So if you go down to the bottom, if you're watching it after that date, you go down to the bottom and it tells you the summary at the bottom there, and as you can see in this case, we've got no additions, amendments or anything. But as you can see in here, there's quite a lot of things on here, and RK will be thinking, James, that looks a lot on there. How are we going to digest that? Where are your sort of insights on this? Would have let you down. Do not worry, because this is my actual analysis, my little notes that I'm going to walk and talk you through. So make sure you've got a pen and paper as we go through it. These are the key things that I'd be taking down that are definitely going to help you. Now, we touched on it before about the F1 paper. It was also known as the AB exam, just in case you've got any old notes or you've got maybe some old lectures that you're watching. So all the same thing, just different names on there. And the key thing to get noted down is an 85% pass rate on average. So what that means is for every 100 students that sit this exam, 85 will pass, or in other words of thinking about it, 15 will fail. So if you walk and talk and watch this video through all the way to the end, you'll be in that 85, I believe, from the tips and tricks we'll go through. So I'm just going to go through all the different pages one by one, and everything underlined and all the keynotes on the side. Make sure you check them out in your own time and go through the PDF yourself, because as you can see on here, the external examiner wants to make sure that you understand there's a clear distinction between the different subject areas of actual knowledge on here, and then also the actual skills that you'd need to demonstrate. So as you can see, I've got knowledge, the syllabus reading, demonstrating that core competency and knowledge. And if you need any study text for this examination, the ones I recommend are all in the description below, so feel free to check them out. There'll be some discounts on them as well. And also from a skills perspective, that will be in the actual syllabus and study text, how you can apply it to scenarios. But as you can see on here, you're asked for some knowledge, you're asked for some skills, and they're denoted by the actual K's and S's. Well, if you go down to actual pages 9 to 17, I'll just show you on here as an example. And as you can see on here, there is your K's, as you can see. So that would be knowledge that you'd have to demonstrate of the actual organisational structure on there. And if we go up on here, hopefully we can find one nice and easy on there. Well, there's lots of K's on here. There's plenty of knowledge in this area of the syllabus, but there should be another one on here. I've got to find one now, haven't I? K, there's a K, there's a K, there's a K. Oh my word, there we go. Consequences of ineffective working, that is a skill-based question on there, identifying the ways in which people and teams can be ineffective at work. So that would be more of a scenario-based style of question. But as you can see on there, we've got plenty of good notes, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video as we go through onto the learning hours. And again, this is just a sort of general statement from ACCA, but what we promote on the channel is always working smarter and not harder, so that you get more effective revision and studying done throughout your time going through your ACCA studies. If you're completely new to ACCA and the actual qualification structure, you are here for the business technology exam, or you may be doing the foundation in business technology. And this is where you can actually gain a diploma in accounting and business on there for your level 4. And that is where it's nicely broken down. So you have to complete all 4 of those aspects in order to get your diploma. This now leads us on to the actual guide to the ACCA exam structure and delivery. So make sure you go and check out my other videos on the channel, because we've got 100% compulsory questions on here. You can't question spot. You've got to study the whole, all the elements of the syllabus. It's a 2-hour examination, and you need to achieve 50 marks out of 100 to pass. If you haven't already watched my computer-based examination for the business technology exam, where I walk and talk you through a full exam, it's on the channel. Pop it down in your notes to make sure after this video you go and check it out on there as well. As we touched on before, the actual guide to the ACCA examination, anything can be contained. The reason why I've highlighted this is the ACCA team write these documents, and this is them saying you can't question spot. Anything from the study guide can be tested, and if there are any updates to the actual syllabus, they all come into effect from the 1st of September. So just bear that in mind from what date you're watching this video, and then check out at the bottom of the most up-to-date document that you have available on the link in the description of this video, and that's the way it will tell you. I wouldn't expect it to be updated too much, I'll be honest with you. Now, coming on to where the business technology exam links into other areas of the qualification. So you are here, and then the knowledge you'll develop within the business technology exam goes into the strategic level paper for SBL. So we don't need to worry about SBL from now on, but this is where, also just to be aware, I've put it in the notes here, the F1 business technology paper should be your first ACCA exam, just to be clear. So you do have management accounting, financial accounting in the actual foundation or applied skills levels on there, but business technology should be your first exam. Now, key notes to get down straight away, especially if you're completely new to this exam and going through it. Questions will be assessed of all parts of the syllabus and will test knowledge and some comprehension or application of this knowledge. So we touched on that before, and you can see at the bottom of this document which areas will be tested on there. It's broken down into 2 sections where you'll be examined on the computer-based exam, Section A and Section B. In Section A, you've got 76 marks, and again, you can read this in a bit more detail, how it's broken down into the actual 2 markers and the 1 markers. But in essence, you've got about an hour and a half, 91.2 minutes to do Section A, and then Section B, you've got about half an hour on there. Because this is really key, as time management is one of the reasons why people fail this exam, and that is because you've got 120 minutes for the 2 hours divided by the 100 marks for the exam, so you've got 1.2 minutes per mark. So as you can see on my note on the side, you have been warned. This is one of the key elements why people will fail this exam, and running out of time as well. The overall aim of the actual syllabus, and I didn't want to underline the whole thing, so the key paragraph here, so take note, absolutely fundamental. These are key terms that actually just, if you're really struggling to understand what it actually means to do the business technology exam, which areas is it going to overlap as an overview, really helpful paragraph on there. So feel free to check out in your own time, just so you're aware. Now, the key thing here with the introduction to the syllabus, where we're going into a bit more detail, everything underlined on here are key terms I would highly recommend you get noted down, because these come up in the syllabus on previous past paper questions, and this is just to give you a good overview of the actual syllabus and what you could be tested on. So you've got key stakeholders on there. They could be internal or external, the people factors, different systems, technology, responsibilities in the business, legal, social, economic, environmental factors. These are the buzzwords, especially in this area, that you could be actually seeing in your, in fact, I'd actually expect it for you to see within your computer-based examination. So just get familiar with them, along with the professional ethics and professional values at the end. So you could see integrity, you need to get written down, objectivity, professional competence and due care on there as well, confidentiality and professional behaviour. They are the key ethical principles that you need to be aware of in ACCA Code of Ethics. Coming on to the main capabilities of the exam now, and it's broken down into the key 6 areas. So the links to the points are actually below on here, so I'll show you this. In other words, this point A here is that point A there. So if you want to get a better understanding how they overlap and how the main sort of capabilities on the exam, how would you be tested, this is a really good sort of nice little flowing diagram for you to use and to better understand how different areas of the syllabus will overlap with one another. Next key area, and I'd actually recommend you print off this page, and it's page number 7 on here for the actual syllabus overall, and it's just so you can actually check them off one by one, because it's broken down nicely into, well, you can see on here the business organisation, its stakeholders and external environment. If we go back up to here, there's your part A, on there, stakeholders, external environment, stakeholders, external environment. So it's taking the diagrams, the overview, and it's going into a bit more detail on here. Also, I've highlighted them there for you just to break it up, but nicely broken down on here. And then you can say to yourself, well, what if I wanted to know everything that could possibly come up with the purpose and types of business organisation? Well, kindly ACCA have put together a detailed version of that, where if you keep scrolling down on your document, so here you go, you've got the business organisation and stakeholders, as we touched on before, and then the purpose and types of business organisation. That is absolutely everything that you could be tested on in your examination. So definitely be going through this one by one, checking them off, and I'd be walking and talking myself through to say, well, could I answer and talk about not-for-profit organisations on there? And you can just go through it one by one. I've also put in these little lines on here so you don't get confused, because it doesn't nicely sometimes flow that all of this is in section A, then that is the cut-off of section A, then it leads on to section B on the next page on here. So just be aware of, really helpful tool that I'd definitely be implementing if I was in your shoes on there. And again, as you'd expect, because it's detailed, it covers absolutely everything on the syllabus that you need to be aware of. Now, nicely coming down away from the detailed area on there, this is, as we talked about at the start, the actual summary. There are no additions or amendments on there from the syllabus from September 2020, and to be honest, I wouldn't expect many in the future. But again, it's just so you're aware on this video, no matter what date you're watching it, that is the best place to look, and this is the document to find it in as well. I've also kindly put on here some little final tips I'd highly recommend you get noted down. I talk about them on other videos as well, but really important to reiterate how I would approach this exam. We've talked about time management already up above. If you check out the video on my channel about how to pass this examination, you really need to get into your question practice, having a go at it first time, and then reviewing your answers, because you will make silly mistakes. And do not leave the exam early. There will always be little errors that you make, and just being careful that you actually understand what the requirement is asking for, as you can see in point number 2 there, because the external examiner constantly says in their reports, students don't read the question properly, they don't answer the correct number of options, and look out for anything in bold or capitals in your question practice and in your study notes and your books that you're using. They're really good indicators what you need to be practicing on. We've touched on number 3 about covering the whole syllabus. Honestly, you cannot question spot on thinking that maybe management or sort of hierarchy questions are definitely going to come up. Anything can come up in any different section on there. And fourthly, that is why question practice to time is so key. So I actually recommend that you should do some section A questions, then go on to section B, leaving yourself time later on to actually go through and review your answers. And if you'd like the breakdown to that, what I'd recommend, check out the video how to actually pass your business technology exam, and I'll walk and talk you through how it will definitely benefit you on there. Well, that brings us to the actual end of the document on here now. So I hope you found that nice little overview when highlighting the actual document to be really helpful for you. If you have found the video helpful, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up and like below. I really appreciate all the support. And as ever, if you'd like access to all my free videos and you get notified of when they get uploaded, just hit the subscribe button below, and they're all accessible for you there. I mean, feel free to share them with other study buddies or friends that you know have got this exam, because these free resources are what I'd use and I'd recommend that you use for this and future exams as well. And if you've got any other questions, like we had on here with RK, be sure to leave me one at the bottom, or let me know what you thought of the video. More than happy to answer absolutely all of them as well. Well, the final thing I say is best of luck with your examination. Let me know in the comments below how you get on, and make sure you click one of the videos at the end here. They could be a little extra nugget of information that could help you pass your exam, and that is the main thing, getting the 50+. But as always on that bombshell, I'll see you next time. Cheers!